Imagine you are driving home after work. The light changes to red, you stop like everyone else, and a patrol car rolls in behind you. Normal. Then the officer asks for your license, types your name, and everything changes. You are cuffed, not for speeding, not for the red light, but for a technical rule you did not know existed. Now your visa status is questioned, your green card case is paused, and your whole future feels shaky. This is not a movie scene. It is happening to immigrants in the United States right now, and the reason is not what most people think. As of January 25, 2026, public reports show ICE detention has climbed past 70,000 people, the highest level ever recorded. Here is the part that should make you pay attention. More than 74% reportedly have no criminal record. Many were contacted because of low-level driving issues that turned into immigration contact. Not reckless crimes, not violent offenses, but new state traffic rules that are being enforced harder and then shared across systems. Here's the chain reaction. In 2026, several states updated driving regulations, registration policies, and enforcement tools. On paper, these rules look boring. For an immigrant on a visa, on parole, on TPS, or waiting for a green card, they can be dangerous. A traffic stop creates a data point. That data point can be uploaded, cross-checked, and attached to your file. Then, a USCIS officer reviewing an application sees repeated citations, suspensions, missed court dates, or inconsistencies. That creates doubt. Doubt creates delays. Delays can become denials, and in some cases, referrals to enforcement. So what changed and why does it hit immigrants so hard? Because traffic law is local, but immigration consequences are federal. Local officers do not decide your green card, but their records can follow you into every immigration review. Let me walk you through the biggest traps showing up this year, and then I will give you a simple plan to protect yourself and your family. First is the vehicle registration squeeze in Texas. In late 2025, some Texas counties tightened ID checks for registering or renewing a vehicle, pushing more people into expired tags. If your tags are out of date because you could not meet the document rules, you are easier to stop. Even if you are only warned, the encounter is logged. Immigration agencies love logs because logs create timelines. Second is the crackdown on uninsured driving. States including Florida, Georgia, and North Carolina have increased impoundments and license suspensions for drivers without active insurance. If your car is towed, you miss work, you miss court, and you start collecting additional penalties. From an immigration viewpoint, a suspended license or repeated insurance tickets can be painted as disregard for law. That can hurt discretionary decisions, and it can complicate adjustment of status interviews. Third is distracted driving enforcement with cameras. Places like New York, Illinois, and Washington are expanding automated systems that ticket phone use, lane violations, and certain intersections. You may not even know you were cited until a letter arrives. If you ignore it, it can snowball into a warrant. A warrant becomes a flag. Flags show up at the airport, at the border, and in background checks for work permits and green cards. I have seen people delayed at re-entry because of unpaid citations that became court issues. Fourth is the language and testing problem. In early 2026, some states are limiting or removing foreign language options for written driver exams, and that hits new immigrants hard. If you cannot pass in English, you may keep driving without a license, and that is an easy stop. During a roadside interaction, limited English can also increase suspicion and prolong the stop, leading officers to call supervisors or verify identity more aggressively. And in states like Utah, where the DUI threshold is very low at 0.5%, one drink can become a criminal charge. For immigrants, a DUI can trigger inadmissibility questions, moral character concerns, and even removal proceedings, depending on facts. Fifth is child safety seat enforcement. Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Ohio are among states that have tightened age and height rules. If a child is not properly secured, you can be fined ordered into classes, and cited multiple times. People ask how that affects immigration. It affects the narrative USCIS builds about responsibility and good moral character, especially in citizenship cases. A pattern of citations can become a pattern of concern. Sixth is proof of address demands during stops. Some jurisdictions now expect drivers to carry extra documentation showing residence, like a lease, utility bill, or other proof. If you cannot produce it, an officer may detain you longer while verifying identity and address. Any detention, even if you are released, becomes part of the record. For visa holders, that record can create questions during renewals and consular processing. Seventh is the foreign license time limit crackdown. Many states allow a new resident only 30 to 90 days to switch to a local license. Immigrants often do not know, especially those who move for school or work. Police are increasingly enforcing expired foreign license rules. That can lead to impoundment and a charge for driving without a valid license, which is another record that immigration will see. Eighth is the hit-and-run upgrade. In 2026, several states are treating even minor parking lot incidents more seriously. A small bump that you leave without reporting can be upgraded into a misdemeanor. A misdemeanor follows you forever. Then at a future interview, USCIS asks, "Have you ever been arrested or convicted?" If you answer incorrectly, they can accuse you of misrepresentation. Misrepresentation can be worse than the ticket itself. Ninth is street racing and reckless driving enforcement. Nevada, Colorado, and Oregon are increasing penalties, including vehicle seizure and long suspensions. For immigrants, reckless driving can be treated as a serious offense, and in some scenarios, it can be argued as a crime of violence. That can trigger deportability concerns, even when nobody was injured. It is not worth the risk. 10th is the use of traffic stops as immigration screening moments. This is not uniform nationwide, but it is happening more. If an officer believes someone may be undocumented, they may call federal partners or run extra checks. Even if you are here legally, the time lost can cause you to miss a USCIS biometrics appointment or an interview. Missing a USCIS appointment can result in a denial for abandonment of the application, and then you are forced to restart or appeal. Here is what most people never see after the flashing lights turn off. The ticket is not just a piece of paper. It becomes a digital entry tied to your name, your address, and sometimes your fingerprints. That entry can move from the local department to the county court, to the DMV, and then into federal databases that immigration officers can access during background checks. If you are adjusting status, renewing a work permit, or applying for naturalization, those databases are searched automatically. One unpaid citation can look like you ignored a court order. 2 citations can look like a pattern. And if a court date is missed, a bench warrant can be issued without you ever feeling like you committed a serious crime. That is why you should treat every ticket like a legal deadline. Check your mail, check your online court portal, and confirm whether you must appear in person. Pay fines on time and keep receipts. If you cannot pay, do not disappear. Ask the court about payment plans. If your license is suspended, do not keep driving, because driving on suspension turns a civil issue into a criminal one. If your car is impounded, recover it quickly and document the process, because missed paperwork can create additional violations. And please, never try to fix a traffic stop by using fake documents or by claiming you are a U.S. citizen. One lie can create a fraud allegation, and fraud can destroy even strong immigration cases. If you are unsure about your legal exposure, the safest step is to speak with a licensed attorney before you travel, before you renew, and before you attend any interview. Many consultations are cheaper than one denial. If you have had multiple long absences, prior arrests, or a pending immigration case, be extra careful. USCIS officers can request certified court dispositions, not just your story. So if something happened years ago, get the paperwork now, while it is easy. Preparation is not paranoia. Preparation is protection. Also, if you are stopped and given paperwork you do not understand, take a photo, keep copies, and get advice before signing anything that could waive rights, create admissions, or hurt you later. Now, social media gets one thing wrong and one thing right. Wrong. Immigrants are not being arrested simply for driving. Right. Traffic stops are increasingly the moment when other issues surface, like warrants, visa overstays, prior orders, or missing documents. The stop is the spark. The fire is everything attached to your name in databases. So do not believe clickbait, but do not ignore the risk either. So what should you do? Here is the action plan, and it is simple. First, check your registration and tags today, not later. Fix anything expired immediately. Second, get proper auto insurance and confirm it is active in your state, not just paid. Third, stop using your phone behind the wheel, even at stoplights. Cameras do not care. Fourth, if you drink, do not drive. Use rideshare, a friend, public transit, anything. Fifth, if you drive with children, follow your state car seat rules exactly. No shortcuts. Sixth, carry proof of address if your state requires it, a recent utility bill, lease copy, or similar. Seventh, if you moved, get a local driver license within the legal window. Do not assume your foreign license is enough. Eighth, if you are in any accident, do not leave, even if it is a scratch. Report it properly. Ninth, avoid reckless driving, racing, or anything that looks dangerous. One mistake can destroy years of work. 10th, if you are pulled over, stay calm, be polite, provide what you have. Do not argue, do not run, and do not lie. If you do not understand, ask for clarification. I am Fernando from US Policy Brief, and I am telling you this because a traffic stop should not be the reason your American dream collapses. These rule changes are catching immigrants off guard, and people are paying the price without realizing why. But now you know, now you can prepare, and that puts you ahead of thousands who will learn the hard way. If this video helped you, subscribe to US Policy Brief, because I post updates like this every week. Updates that can protect your visa. Updates that can safeguard your green card. Updates that can keep families together. Do not let a minor driving mistake become a major immigration disaster. Stay informed, stay safe, and I will see you in the next update.